Okay, so let's see. In this session, we will discuss how to install the CentOS 7 operating system on a virtual box. So I have a virtual box already installed on my MacBook, and I downloaded the CentOS 7 DVD file, ISO file on my MacBook. So here, let's create a virtual box. So the server name I'm going to provide here is server 1, and this is the Linux type of operating system, and CentOS is same as Red Hat. So let's select Red Hat operating system here. Click on continue, and this is a like 1 GB memory is recommended. So click on continue, and by default the hard disk size given by VirtualBox is 8 GB. So if you want, you can increase it. So let's click on create and select VDA VirtualBox disk image. Click continue. So select dynamic allocated. So here is a difference between fixed size and dynamic allocated differences. So click on create. So let's increase the memory. Okay, the hard disk size. So I'm going to choose 10.15 GB. Click on create. So the virtual box is created with the name server 1. Currently it is powered off. So let's start it. So click on start. It's going to open up the new window with so you can browse the CentOS 7 that is downloaded. You can browse it here. So and let's click on start. So this is going to start the CentOS installation. So CentOS Linux 7 give you three options to choose: install CentOS Linux 7, test this media, and install CentOS Linux 7, troubleshooting. So install CentOS 7, choose this option for a normal installation, and test this media and install CentOS Linux 7. Select this if before installing you want to test the installation media. Notice that this will take a significant amount of time. And finally, troubleshooting. Select this option for some troubleshooting options. This option is useful if you cannot normally boot from your computer's hard drive anymore. Okay, if you are not able to boot your machine from the hard drive, so you can use troubleshoot. So I'm going to choose the install CentOS Linux 7 option. So the next step, so once the base system from which you will perform the installation has loaded, you see the welcome to CentOS 7 screen. So from this screen, we can select the language and keyboard settings. So now it is loading the basic installation. Okay, so starting the installer. So let's see what it's going to show you. So let me close these two pop-ups. Okay, so this is a welcome screen for CentOS Linux 7. So you can choose the language. Okay, so I'm going to choose the English language and the English United States. Click on continue. So here, this is an installation summary. In this installation summary screen, you see various options like localization, software selection, system setup. So here in the localizations section, see date and time. So you can click on and you can change your city, like I located in Central Zone. So let's change it to Chicago, and there you can choose 24 hours or AM PM type. Here is the date. You can, if you currently net time is off, so I'm choosing local time. I'm not enabling any network time, so I'm not setting up any network servers to get the network server time here. So I'm just choosing the local time, so it is 7:09 p.m. Central. Click on done. So date and time is selection is completed. America's Chicago time zone. So keyboard is English. We already selected this. Language also we selected before, right? So click on done. And the next is software. Okay, so installation source. So here auto detected installation media. So I'm going to use the a local media ISO image for that. And software selection. So default is minimal installation. So it's a base environment. So here you see add-ons for selected environment. So in this case, I'm going to choose server with GUI. So server for operating system network infrastructure services with the GUI, graphical user interface. Here are the various add-ons you can see here. So I'm not going to select any add-ons at this moment. So let's continue with the server with GUI environment. Click on done. So we are done with software selection. So currently it is checking your options. So once these are selected, so then you can choose system installation destination and network host name. It is showing not connected, right? So let's choose. So this is currently set up automatic partitioning selected. So I'm going to change it to, so double click on this virtual box hard disk. So make sure you click on I will configure partitioning. So I'm not going to use all of this 10 GB hard disk. I'm going to configure the partitions and I will keep 2 GB space, free space for next lab sessions. So click on done. So here the file system, like it is going to use the partition type is LVM. So let's add on your partition. So first partition is slash boot and I'm going to use this as 500 MB. Okay, click on add amount. So let me change the exact value to 500 here. So update settings, right? So 500 is updated. And now next option is mount point will be slash. So for this I'm going to choose 5 GB, add mount point. So LVM and default file system for CentOS 7 and Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7 is XFS. Okay, and remember XFS you cannot strung the file system. If you want to strung the file system in future, so then go with the create ext4 file system, but let's choose XFS file system, which is a default file system. And next add on one more mount point for swap. So these three options are must. You have to choose for slash boot and swap. Click add mount point. This is going to be the file system type will be swap file system, and let's change it to exact 1 GB, which is 1024 MB, right? So update settings. So now okay, this is a 500 MB, this is approximately 5 GB, this is 1 GB, approximately 1 GB files, the swap space. So now manual partition is completed. Click on done. So accept the changes. So custom partition selected. So network and host name is not selected. So let's turn on the Ethernet. So I'm not going to choose this localhost, change this localhost.local domain at this moment. Let's keep it like that. So we will see in the next class how to change the host name. Now click on done. Okay, so here if you look at, right, by default it is taking the IP address, okay, through DHCP. So I'm not changing anything manually or configuring manually. So it picked automatically the IP address, which is 10.0.2.15, and default route is 10.0.2.2. So let's click on done. So everything is selected and kdump is available. The new options in this, right, the kdump and security policy are added. So now begin installation. So the installation is started. So here, right, you have two settings are available. One is user setting and like another is a root password. You can create the user here and you can set up the root password. Root is a super administrator for any Unix operating system or Linux based operating system. So now, so let's select the root password. So my cursor is very slow. So let me use tab to select the option settings. No controls to move this cursor anyway. Okay, good. Root password is selected. Let me set up the root password first. Okay. Where it's selected. Okay, I'm going to set up the root password here. The password is going to be password only. So it's very simple to remember, or you can change it to ABC123. It's up to you. So, but make sure use it simple one. Okay, so give it simple one, and if it is a weak password, right? So you have to click on the done button couple of times. So here my password is not matched. So here if you look at right, here it is showing the password you have provided is weak. So that's okay. So click on done, and one more time click on done. So root password is set now. So now let's create the user. So user creation, Shrikant. And I'm not going to set up this user as administrator. So I want to just keep root as an administrator. So set up the password. So keep it easy. So password you have provided is weak. That's okay. Click on done. Click on done 2 times. So now your user creation also completed. So it is now installing the software. So it's gonna take at least like 10 to 15 minutes to complete the installation. So I'm going to pause it here. So I will resume the video once the installation is completed. Okay, so where we are. So installation is completed. The package installation is completed. So now it is performing post installation step setup tasks. So let's see how long it's gonna take. So installation is now completed. It took very long to install this operating system. Maybe it's because of poor performance of my laptop. Okay, let's reboot this the CentOS operating system. So the final step is like you can accept the license. So click on it, accept the license, and then done. So license accepted. The network and host name is connected. So what else? So lastly, finish configuration. So you can log in with username or you can log in with the root user that we already set up earlier during the installation. Click on sign in and you logged into the CentOS operating system. So now we have completed the CentOS 7 installation. So make sure you check the right language here. So welcome, click on next, click on next. You can skip this step and start using CentOS Linux. So you're done with the installation. You can close this. That's all. So this is how we install the CentOS operating system. So if you want to power off, so you can just close this one, power off the machine, click OK. So now your server 1 is powered off. Close the virtual box. So in the next class, I will explain how to install the Red Hat Enterprise Linux version 7. Okay.